Hi, it's Cindy Fodor here with Stamp the Love, and I wanted to pop on here and show you a fun little bag and tag that I did with the Hello Ladybug stamp set, highlighting some of our punches and showing you how I used some of our free things for celebration. So I wanted to just pop on and get this out to you while celebration is still going on and you can earn things for free. So um, check it out, guys. I hope that you enjoy this little idea. Show you a few techniques, so enjoy. I thought that I would show you one that you could make on your own, and so that you could put any cards that you make in it. Okay, so this is the bag I'm going to show you how to do. This is what I had in it. This is our newest kit. I did send one of them, so I only have 3 of the cards from the kit. But this is the one called Remedy. I don't have it right here. Um, Shoot. Something Remedy. So it's all about getting better. And they are just adorable. I had so much fun putting these cards together. This one even has some embossing, some raised embossing on the piece in the background. So yeah, so that's what I had in it. I just stuffed a couple cards in there just to make sure that it was going to do the job that it needed to do, so that it fit cards. So I think I could fit at least 6 cards in there with envelopes. All right, so I am using this pack of little bags that are already made, and I'm going to show you where I got them. They are in our annual catalog, and they'll be online if you want to do a search for embossed treat bags. The number is 159251. They are $7.50 for 10 bags. Okay, so I didn't have to make the bag, which is fabulous. I just had to have fun designing it, designing the decorations on it. So I'm going to go ahead and pull one of these out, and decided to highlight punches tonight. So I'm going to highlight this bundle that has the Ladybugs and the Ladybug Builder Punch. Okay. And then I pulled in this punch, which is a brand new one. And I just realized that I don't know the name of it. So let me just grab that. That's called the Decorative Circle Punch. The number is 159174. And then this one is one that we've had for a little bit. Excuse me, it's called Banner's Pick-a-Punch. And that number is 153608. I'm just throwing those numbers out there because when you go in to place your order, it's sometimes easier than typing in everything. It's easier to type a number. So let me just mention that again, 153608 if you're writing that down, 159174. And then this bundle, of course I don't have, let me just grab that bundle for you. I think it still comes as a bundle. It's not as a bundle. So the punch itself, the Ladybug punch is 157698. And then the Ladybug set is called Hello Ladybug, and it is 157693. Okay? All right, sorry. I usually don't give that much information, but sometimes that's helpful. Okay, so I'm also going to show you the one little strip. I'm going to start with that. These are some of my pieces here. This little strip here comes from the Silver and Gold specialty paper, and I got this for free during celebration. So this is an item that you can get for free when you spend $50. And there are silver and gold embossed foil pieces in here. So I'm using the one with the polka dots and the gold, and I think I forgot to grab some scrap paper, so let me find, here's a piece of cardboard we can use, because I want to change the color of background on this. I'm going to use my Calypso Coral ink pad, and I'm going to use one of our sponging brushes. These come 3 in a pack, and then I can just rub that on my pad lightly, and I just start here and swirl on my paper until I have the desired color that I want. I keep trying my phone. I don't know why it doesn't usually have issues in here, but it's always a first time for everything. And there definitely is a time when it's fully saturated. So you can't get more color unless you change to a different color. So I think we've reached saturation here. And I usually have a tissue on hand because you can see that gold is still, let me just tilt this, you can see the gold is still there. You can still see it very well. And the ink will be laying on top of that, and I don't want to smear that on everything. So I'm just going to turn this over and just wipe it on here. It's better to wipe it with a tissue, but I didn't bring one in here with me. Okay, so I just want to make sure I'm not going to be getting all of that pink on my bag, because that would not be nice. All right, I think I'm finished with that and that. What I want to do with this next is I want to make it a tail on it, because I want it to be a cute little tag. And so I'm just going to slide it in. I can use this. This is the widest. It's 1 inch. And then there's a 3/4 inch slot, and then there's a 1/2 inch slot. And I've even done wider, where I'll slide it down in here and not between these notches, and punch it, and then I can just trim what's left on either side. But there's that great little tail. And I'm going to go ahead and do my gold piece right away. This is our brushed gold cardstock. It actually comes, it's a brushed foil, and there's 3 different shades in it. But I'm using the brushed gold for this one because it goes nicely with that. I'm going to lay that aside. And let's see, what's next? Let's go ahead and stamp our little tag. And I am using the saying from the Ladybug set, and I'm going to do that in black. I'm using the Memento black. I probably am not going to explain all of our colors tonight, but Memento came to us because we started carrying alcohol markers, and so our other black is an alcohol-based pad called Stays On. So this one needed to be water-based to work with the alcohol markers. And it's just a nice black. It dries easily. It doesn't stamp on surfaces other than paper like the Stays On does. But this is the pretty much all around anytime black. All right, let's go ahead and use our Ladybug punch. And I'm going to punch 2 at a time. I'm going to give you a little trick about punches. And, oh, Sharon, I see you now. Good. Maybe my phone is working better. Okay. So one of the tricks about punches is sometimes when you punch and it looks terrible, and you think your punch is bad, pretty much every time I have realized that my paper is too thin. Punches don't work great with like computer paper, but even cardstock, even our cardstock is a very nice heavy cardstock. Sometimes it doesn't like just 1 layer. Now 2 is a little much, but in fact maybe I'm going to take a piece of our white, because our white is a little bit thinner, and I'm just going to put them together and I'm going to punch because I want a nice clean image. It's a little harder to push, but it flies away and it gives me a fairly nice clean image. Okay, I want to show you that with just this, and it's going to maybe make me a liar this time, but we'll see. Yeah, that one actually looks better. So let's go to the vellum. I am definitely using another layer of paper with the vellum because I know that vellum is going to be way too light to punch through. What happens is it's so thin that it just folds down around the edge instead of cutting, and then you have this just a jammed up mess. So I'm going to put a piece of white under my vellum piece so that I can punch those wings and have them come out nicely. So there's my vellum wings, and I'll keep this white one for later. Maybe I'll make another ladybug. If I call this a butterfly, please forgive me. I don't know why sometimes butterfly comes out of my mouth. And then last but not least, I'm going to just make a little background piece with this. And I'm doing the full piece here, but I want to show you when I did my bag. The nice thing is if you want it to be smaller, let me see if I can turn this right. What I did was I just cut off both of these edges, and I could still do that if I want to. But if you want this tag to be a little bit smaller, it still has the cool design on it, but I've made it just a little trimmed up, okay? And you can do that pretty much anywhere on it to make it whatever size you want it to be. Okay, which one do I like best? I'm not sure. Next, I'm going to get the little dots stamped on these wings because on this vellum, like I told you, it doesn't stamp great on anything but cardstock. And it's going to take a while to dry on vellum. Vellum has like a really smooth surface. So let's get that on there so that can dry. Just try not to smear it. I don't know if you can see how shiny it still is. Most of our inks dry really fast, and on the paper it did. All right, another thing that I want to stamp on this little black piece are the flowers from this set, because I wanted to use them as well, and I needed a background on my little black piece. So I'm going to use the flowers here. There's another ladybug with layers that you can use. This one does not have a punch to it. Okay, now this is a different ink. I'm sorry to sort of, maybe you want a good lesson on inks tonight. So this is our white craft ink. This is an ink where you get the ink pad and the refill at the same time, and you actually ink it before you stamp it. Now I have not re-inked it recently, so it's not terribly inky, but you can see there how it has inked up my flowers. And I'm going to hold that down, let that transfer over onto my paper. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it and do that on the other side. Pressing real firmly and getting all that ink off of there, or most of it. Fortunately, that area will be covered. And so this will take a minute or two to dry because it is craft ink. It is a pigment ink, and it will take a couple seconds to dry, but we can still work with that. Did I bring my cleaners in? I did, but I know I've buried them here. I'm going to grab one of our, excuse how messy it looks, but this is our, again, I'm not going to think what it's called. It's a little purple cleaning thing. It's like what you use for your car, except it's a little thicker. And it just nicely cleans things. It doesn't get into the grooves, but at least it keeps things a little clean as I'm working so that I don't make a mess everywhere. And I think that was on one of your games as I think it's like $7, so it's definitely under 10. All right, we stamped everything, I believe, and we're ready to put together. All right, so let's grab our bag, and you can grab a little tiny clothespin or a clip, or you can staple this to the handle here, whatever you choose to do. Let me get rid of that. That's extra stuff, extra stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and build our ladybug. I'm going to just take my adhesive. This is our Seal Plus adhesive. It is a real firm, sturdy adhesive. It does not require a lot of adhesive to hold your project together. And I just am going to put a little bit right there. It will show through. There's not much that doesn't show through vellum. People ask me, well, what can I use? You know what? There really isn't. And I usually just try to layer things on it, and then I glue my vellum where there's something laying on top. In this case, there's nothing going to be on top of her. So let me flip that over. We're going to put some dimensionals on here. These are our larger dimensionals, and then we have some mini ones as well for tiny areas, or you can just snip these before you pop them on And I'm going to go ahead and put 2 on there, and then you peel the backing off. And then those little backings go everywhere in case you have never had anything to do with them before. All right, let me just turn this the way I want it to go, and then I'm just going to pop my Ladybug on here. And let's go ahead and put a little glue on here, and I'm going to just, I see I have a little cut there, but that's going to be covered. And I don't want this to look like everything is straight, so I'm just going to angle it a little bit. And then I love this little saying to give to a friend: you can bug me anytime. And I'm just going to put a touch of adhesive there just to hold that in place, and pop that on there. Now I am ready. I'm actually going to glue a little bit onto my bag because that way it won't fly around. And just glue that down. Okay, now I can take my little clip. We do not sell these clips, by the way. We have had them in paper pumpkin kits in the past, and now I'm ready to put this cute little guy on. And I'm going to go ahead and just put adhesive on here. And I'm going to stick that to my paper, maybe under my tag. It's probably a good idea, huh? Just see if I can move this a hair. See, I told you it sticks really good. Okay. All right, there we go. One last touch. You are going to love this part. We have so many fabulous embellishments. And it was really hard to choose, but I decided to go with some gold because we have a lot of gold going on here. And so these are our brush metallic adhesive backed dots. So they are in gold, copper, and bronze. And I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool because I want to introduce this to you. This was on the game, and this is looking pretty pretty bad and pretty dried out. So I'm going to get rid of this putty. I usually don't do that, but it just looks so dried out. I'm just going to pull that off, and then I'm just going to turn this like a hair of a turn until I see some putty coming out there. I usually turn it way too much, so I'm just being careful. I usually have a ton sticking out, and you don't need a lot. So I'm just there's putty in here, and as you turn this, it makes it come out. So it's not sticking your projects, it's just sticking enough to pick things up and move them. Works great for tiny little things. I don't think we punched anything little, but if I wanted to pick up this and put some glue on it and stick it down, I could just pick it up and put it in place like that. So I'm just going to take and just stick this on here and slide it, and then I can tack some of these in different places. I think I'll stick one right there. All right, so now we just added a little bit of bling to the card. I don't know, it's some reason, for me at least, it just makes the card pop a little bit more. So I hope you enjoyed those. And you'll have to check out our embellishments because we have a ton, and they are just fabulous. They, of course, coordinate with all of our colors, and so it makes it really easy to put together a card that looks fabulous, so that you can see this by itself. I hope that you like that little project that you can put lots of cards in. So it opens to about, it looks like about 1.5 inches wide. The cards will show at through here, but I don't think that's a game changer for me, at least. You can decide for yourself if it is